Evening, everyone, one and all. Welcome to TMA Sunday Night Live. As always, you to control the topics. We will discuss them. Big shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Mubdinho, Mr. Wendover Horn himself. Evening, boys.
Evening.
See if we can get Darren in as well. Are you on audio, Darren?
Yeah, I can hear you okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, mate. It's John Cena, mate. Yeah, it's a bit like you moves, isn't it?
Exactly.
I know it's a windstorm, but it ain't that bad. I'll try and come out and come back in, okay?
Yeah, keep coming in and out, mate. You know what it's like. I love it, really. Cheers, mate.
See ya.
Oh, mate. Right, okay. As always, we're in this proud and honoured to be in association with the Watford Football Club, Former Players Club, fronted by Pricey and Watford's favourite son, Luther Blissett. Head on over to Facebook, tailor-made for community. So big shout out to them as always. Right, okay, let's get straight on. With obviously, we just shout out Dino is off his holiday in Turkey. He will be back once his Tesco Wi-Fi gets sorted out. So he should be back next week if that actually holds up. You know what it's like. That's why we expressed. Oh, yeah, exactly, mate. It depends on the budget, really, isn't it? Depends what he likes. Right. Okay, so one or two topics here. I know Melanie's put one out first. We'll go for Dan's first, so let's get cracking. Right, okay, so Dan's one. Dan, thanks for the topic, mate. He says, everyone disagreed when I said a few months ago that Sissoko was spent and shouldn't be starting. Is it time for a public apology? Sissoko, well, I'm not giving an apology. he wants one, but look, on the subject of Sissoko, mate, what's your take on it?
Me?
Mr. Wendover, yeah, sorry, sir. Off you go, my good man.
Yeah, Sissoko. I didn't actually think he had a bad first half yesterday. Out wide. I think he's looked better out wide because he's kind of out the way. And he did all right, I think, first half yesterday. Second half, well, they all came off a cliff, and I don't know what happened at half time. Perhaps Alex Neil totally outcoached Cleves at half time and made several changes, and it was a different Millwall in the second half. Where am I on the Sissoko thing? He's obviously hasn't got the engine he once had. Though looking at our squad as it is, largely he normally has to play because he's the best of what we've got. And you know, in that he's playing because out wide because Barr is injured. When Barr comes fit, yeah, I guess he's back in. But yesterday, I wouldn't single him out. I think first half he was okay. Second half he went off a cliff. Yes, he tired, but the whole of the team went off the cliff in the second half yesterday, in my opinion.
Darren, what do you reckon, mate? Sissoko, on the subject Sissoko.
Yeah, I think it's one of those tricky ones. You know, you get again. I mean, Clev said he wanted him.
He's gone off again. He's gone again, mate. Yeah, can you hear us? No, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, just keep going in and out, mate. Brilliant. Right, yeah, moves Sissoko, mate. I could see roughly what he was getting at. I think he's got a storm there. A storm's affecting what's going on there, mate. But yeah, what do you reckon?
Oh man, I agree with what Wendo's just saying. Sissoko was brilliant first half yesterday. And for some reason, you know, I think at half time, Alex Neil decided. I think he must have gone. He must have pushed a couple of players further on because we got pushed so far back. It was. Well, I mean, they might as well come and sat in the rookery, as far as I'm concerned. That's how far back we were pushed. Is Sissoko over the hill? He kind of is, but I think right now we've got no choice but to play him because we haven't got enough players. We don't have the options. Okay, I was calling for Tom Ince yesterday to come on after about 60 minutes because I think he probably could have done something. To put him on as late as we did. I'm not sure that's really that's a Trump's terrace on Gallagher.
It probably is, mate.
Woody's come up with a good one there. I tell you, it beat me to that. I don't think he spent, because at the end of the day, he is the captain of the team. So the question's going to be is, once Barr gets back and you've got Vata pretty much back to full fitness and you've got Ince there as well, he is going to have a selection problem, because if you don't put Sissoko back to the centre, you've got to drop him. But then if you don't drop him, who do you take out? So, Dan, it's a tough one, mate. I'm sorry, Dad. It is a tough one. But for me right now, we've got to keep going with Sissoko. And it's probably not what Cleverley has up his sleeve. He probably thinks, on a 3-game week where we play Saturday, I know this week we're doing Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, he'll probably want to keep Sissoko out the firing line for Wednesday night. But he's got no choice. He's going to have to play him. Unless he thinks Ince or Vata can go the full 90.
I'd switch between. Sorry to interrupt you, Matt. What about you? What about us switching between Sissoko and Ince every other game? Just do that if need be, because Ince has proved he can play.
I've called for it for a lot of this season. Ince should be given more game time. There's nothing wrong with him.
Or, as you say, Moobs, it's Vata. We're now in a situation of where there's nothing to lose. We're not going up, we're not going down. We might get in the playoffs, but I highly doubt it. Might as well go on the front foot and play Vata, because Sissoko is more defensive, I guess, because he gives you more in the tracking back, I guess, out wide than maybe Vata might. He's got that physicality. But why not? Might as well just go for it and play Vata.
Exactly, mate. Right, let's get a few comments up here as well. Melanie, we will get into your topic. That is the next one coming up, I do promise. All right, let's see if Darren wants to finish this. Darren, can you hear us, mate?
I can hear you now. It just
Hey!
No.
Go on, mate. Yeah, I can hear you.
I'll get it in 30 seconds. No, seriously.
Well, give your opinion first, mate.
It's the trouble with, Sissoko's old. He's not going to be able to play every week. For me, I don't know. I was thinking yesterday, after the injury to Doumbia, that. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, you look at that January window and we got a good goalkeeper and we got a Banquer who looks great, but we didn't get a forward. And I don't know, just a frustration in the sense of the squad isn't thick enough, strong enough. And we're only 6 points even. We've got 10 games to go. We've got a good run in, really. And if they would have just invested a little bit more, we would be up there, I think. Sissoko was getting... I agree. I mean, he didn't have a bad half yesterday, but he's getting on now, And I mean, we have a ton of youth in the squad. There's no denying that. But, yeah, it's tough. It's a tough one. Yesterday was so frustrating because the old cliche game of two halves has never been more appropriate, right?
True. Right, okay, let's get a few comments out here. Woody, hi guys, hi everyone. Mr. Thorpe says hi everyone, and get well soon, Emma. Yeah, also Emma, former commentator, presenter as well. Fanatic Watford fan, she's put in for a hell of a lot. She's hit a bit of a medical low once again. Just hope she pulls through that. And obviously, on behalf of everyone here, and we just wish her all the best, and hope she pulls through that. I mean, poor girl. She's gone through enough already, and then she ends up getting this setback. We don't want to go into too much of it, but just wish her all the very, very best. Good shout out there, Michael, mate. Fantastic. Halsey, that's a good question, Melanie. Yeah, Melanie, I will get straight to that. I'll just throw out all these comments. Stuart, no passion, no drive. Had the easier games and yet again shot ourselves in the foot. No strength and depth. That's where we are in the league standings. Blur in death. I think 2 from Shakatadze, losing bar will go. Kevin, how you doing, fellas? No, cheers, mate. To me, the season is over. That's from Halsey. No playoffs, no relegation. So as long as we finish above them and QPR, sorry, I couldn't say the name, Halsey. I do apologise. We can only blame Ramadan. That's from Woody. How many points we get in the next 2 games? We'll try and put that out later, Mike. We will answer that. The Trump tariffs as well. We'll get Darren's answer on that in a minute if that's true. The first half always tastes best. That's from Kev. Sissoko is valuable for a few seasons. I don't know. He must be eating cake again. Professional, experienced leader, etc. But we have no choice. Mr. Higgins, we are tireless time after time, failed on games which we should get something out of. Sissoko is crap. Mr. Pierce from InReach, one of our partners, thank you very much, mate. He says, why do we play across our own box so close in from goal kicks? If we're going to do that, we need to do it 20 yards further up. Almost cost us a couple of goals yesterday. Very true. Dan Brown, is Sissoko one of those fasting knackered engine with no fuel is a double killer. Clemson's becoming clueless. Saturday's game proved that's from Mr. Higgins. Give a D. I don't know what that is. It must be a Quagmire thing. Stuart, what's beer of the week? We'll find out if Darren is drinking something, but unless his internet plays. Play Andrews on the right. Mr. Crouch, become the 51st state and you'll have a great American broadband. Kevin Ollis, Desperados. Also, do you think the introduction of Bombay Mix at halftime would get the players going? Possibly, mate. We got to try everything, mate, at the end of the day. Right, okay, let's get straight to the next topic. Melanie posted this up. Yeah, it's a good shout there, mate. Melanie said, and Greg, I'll get you straight on this one. He said, how should we approach the rest of the season? Go for playoffs or introduce young players in anticipation of major first-team players leaving in the summer?
Nothing to lose. What's playoff is still it's not out of the window. So I think at the moment, play your strongest side, but get on that front foot and attack. If playoffs come at a situation where they are out of reach, Melanie's quite right. We're not going down. So play Ramirez, Espan, play this young Irish forward that we've just brought in, Nixon Ockerson, I think his name is. Get some of the young boys in, but let's just delay that slightly. Let's see these next 3 games and where we are. We could win the next 3 and be right up there again. So as I say, initially playing your strongest team, your strongest possible team, but as that becomes further and further in the distance, nothing to lose. Chuck the kids in.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's at the stage where we've still got stuff to play for, but I think one thing that probably will stop us getting in the playoffs is our sodding goal difference, because we're still minus, and we have not overturned that at all. Where the others are keeping clean sheets and improving, we seem to keep a couple of clean sheets and then concede a couple of goals, which then really sets us back. But no, definitely, yes, give the kids a chance. I would play some of them, but we need to see how. I'd even say the next 5 games go, really. I think if you get down to like the last 4 games and we're not, we've it's not going to happen, then it could be time to say, well, I'll tell you what, some of you youngsters will be on the bench and you probably get a 20-minute run out each game just to see how you fare. I don't see any harm in that. But right now, no chance. I would not even consider bringing some of the youngsters in yet. And especially with Wednesday night on the horizon, going with being home to Swansea, got to be, you got to have your best team out there. Otherwise, it's, you know, Swansea could just walk all over us, and you know, I'd rather see that happen with a full strength team than an under strength team, knowing you've got first teamers sitting on the bench that could be doing a job.
Yeah, exactly. I would personally wait until about 40th or 41st game. If obviously we're dead and buried and we're not going to go further down, we're not going to go further up the table, then start playing the kids, starting one or two of them, and just prepare for next season. And at least they've had 4 or 5 games under the belt. I agree with you boys. Give it at least 4 or 5 games, see where we are then, because like you guys say, you know, especially with Swansea coming up, it's a massive game. I would say do or die, but in terms of where we can sort of navigate around the season, it's certainly one that we need to look at winning, and we could win our next 3, like Greg was saying. So yeah, I would say about the 40th or 41st game. If it's not going anywhere, then obviously start playing one or two of the kids and introduce them. And then it comes to pre-season, they've already had 4 or 5 games under their belt then, so they're already up and running, really, aren't they? So accustomed to it. But yeah, no, I agree, boys.
And I'll tell you the other thing, Pidge. The higher up we finish, the more prize money we get. So you know, keeping in the top half, you know, really could do us a big favour with a bit of extra money coming in.
Well, psychological as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You know, and then that gives some of them a bit more confidence.
You don't think you're starting from dot one again like we did? Like, to be honest, that's what I thought we started this season. We started from dot one again. At least if we finish in the top, say, if we did have a top 10 finish, then we didn't think we have to do a complete rebuild. It's basically just trying to build on what we've got, you know,
exactly,
rather than sort of finishing 15th or 16th.
Indeed, we can't. You know, I personally, me right now, I don't see us finishing outside the top half of the table unless something catastrophic happens.
I see a lot of comments are coming in because we've talked about playoffs. Yeah, look, I think it's amazing that there's still a semi chance we can hit the playoffs. I, for one, don't think we will,
no.
But it's still viable, very viable. Looking at the table.
Do you think this is almost exactly a carbon copy, barring the actual FA Cup run that we had back exactly 30 years ago when we were odds on to go down or struggle? We end up having a little flirtation around the mid-table and, you know, finish near the playoffs. Apart from the actual blistering run we had at the start of the season where we won 4 or 5 games, it's pretty much almost a carbon copy. Okay, and I think the only difference is we set a record clean sheet back then, but it's almost exactly the same in terms of we were expected to struggle. We haven't spent much money, yet we're exceeding expectations. We're overachieving in a lot of ways, and if we finish roughly where we did 30 years ago, it'd certainly be a massive thing. We finished 7th like we did back then. Oh, bloody hell. I mean, even bigger achievement. I mean, back then it was one hell of achievement under the side we had then. I mean, it'd be amazing if we did that now.
Definitely.
It's almost a carbon copy, really. If you look at a lot of the characteristics from exactly 30 years ago to the season to now, you know, young coach, you know, players to prove himself, youth players looking to break in.
Yeah, there's nothing to say it can't happen, but I just think the way you look at the likes of Coventry City, the run they're on at the minute is just phenomenal.
Yeah, you're going to get at least 1 or 2, and Coventry's one of them, isn't it?
Yeah, the only ones that are sort of free falling now are Blackburn.
Well, you know their head coaches.
Exactly. We certainly do know who he is. So I would, it wouldn't surprise me if Blackburn stutter and, they fall down the table a bit. But I just want us to, keep doing what we're doing, and let's just finish as high up as possible.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay. Michael threw this up earlier. How many wins in the next 2 games? All 3 even. Do you want me to throw up the fixtures?
Well, no.
We've obviously got Swansea, haven't we?
Swansea, Oxford,
Plymouth,
Bristol.
Yeah, Plymouth at home. So Swansea on Wednesday, Saturday Oxford away, Plymouth at home.
9.
9.
I think 9, but I'd quite happily take 7.
Yeah, I'll go for 7. I think. I mean, that'll certainly put us in a more positive place than we are now. I mean, look. I mean, after we beat Luton, sorry to swear, after we beat them, 2 wins, and even the 0-0. You know, we got 7 points out of 3 games. You know, it was looking up. But what always happens, the last 3 seasons happen. We get, and I agree with you, boys. We're not expected to get into the playoffs, but every time we get a sniff of a chance of getting the playoffs, we bottle it or we lose the game. I don't want to say bottle. I don't really want to say bottle it, but it seems like that. You know, even 2 seasons ago, when the squad we had then, we get anywhere sniff of the playoffs, we end up losing the next game.
No, you're right.
Yeah, yesterday was, well, basically, I think we sort of summed it up earlier. Shoot yourselves in the foot day, I think yesterday was, because we had a glorious chance to really get 3 points at home. And we somehow brilliantly, spectacularly managed to screw it up. You know, that's it. I still can't work it out really, but you know, but one thing I'd say yesterday we sort of didn't deal with, and it always happens when we play Millwall, is that they've got height in their team, we haven't. And some of those players yesterday, especially their right back, was a blinking NBA basketball player by the looks of things. You know, it was just like, I was just looking at him. I was like, you should be in the NBA, mate. You shouldn't even be on a football pitch.
You know, yesterday, Moves and Pidge, I'm a massive Clevs fan. I think he got out coached yesterday. Second half, Alex Neil pushed right up on our defence, and that playing out from the back that we were trying to do. And my word, we had some warning signs already in the first half that we could get, we could get undone there. But they pushed even further forward, and he changed their system, and he outcoached Clevs yesterday. Clevs didn't have a lot of alternatives himself from the bench. I think Millwall had a deeper bench than we did. But second half was absolutely dreadful. You know, Tom Denny Bashir looked like he had never put a pair of boots on before yesterday. He was dreadful. You know, that they were all bad second half, but he was probably the worst. Clevs will learn from yesterday. He's a young coach and he will learn.
Yeah, they come out and said he signed a 3-year deal last summer as well. So they're clearly looking long term at last, or we hope they certainly are anyway. Right, Halsey saying should be 9, but I'll go for 6. Mr. Hollins 6 from 9. Stuart saying 0. Mr. Woody 4 points.
Bit harsh, Woody.
No, that's not Woody. Woody's saying 4. It's Higgins saying 0.
That's even, Stuart, that's even worse. That's harsh.
You naughty boy. Go on, mate. Go on, Moobs. Carry on, mate.
No, I was just going to say, in regards to yesterday, you could tell after half time what Alex Neil had done. He, you know, with the first half, the way we were controlling that midfield, you know, we had the running. But at half time, Alex Neil clearly spotted that it was time to push 2 players 10, 20 yards further up from their midfield, which made Deli Bashu look at, like what Wendo just said, made him look like he hadn't even put a pair of boots on in his life. You know, that was just shocking from him. And even James as well, a banker in the second half sort of went off the boil as well, which was even more worrying. He's been solid lately. So, yeah, I think Alex Neil did massively outclass him in the second half with Clevs. And I think their subs bench said it all. They left one of their strikers sitting there waiting. And you knew full well that he was going to be unleashed. and it was just a case of if not when. And unfortunately, you know, he done the damage. So I think there's Clevs has got a few things to look at. Hopefully they get them ironed out by Wednesday, which they probably won't do. But let's just, get the Wednesday now and let's see a response.
Yeah, I think we need to play Vata. Personally, I think we need to. I don't mean to hate on Sissoko. I think they got I think Danny Iron put this up as well. He says, look, the reason he's not playing well as well, he's not playing in his right position. I think a player of his, shall we say, his legs, has got to play in a preferred position that hides his weaknesses. And centre midfield is probably the only one I would think of, because he certainly can't play in there. Tom Ince is out of the two. Tom Ince could play that role better than in the currently where he's playing at the moment. Ince, if you want some experience, if he's going to play the two older boys, you alternate them. If not, just throw Vata in there and let him have a go. Sorry, boys, just before we get on, it was a seasoned coach versus a novice learning his trade. That's from Melanie, absolutely. Bit like Wendover, completely agree with you as well, mate. Mr. Higgins says, fucking hell, lads, scum was payback. 2-0 after 24 minutes was highlight of our season. Not buying into your next 3 games. We ain't good enough. No strength in depth. Clevs got it so wrong on Saturday. We ain't going playoffs. Let's see how high we finished and be grateful. Yeah, there is some truth in that, mate, to be fair. And Woody says, shame.
Shame.
I put it roughly when one of you boys were talking. It's linked into one of Woody. Elaborate on that, please, mate. I agree. It has been unused. I'll give Moobs credit for that as well, because Moobs was shouting that out a few times as well. But thanks, Melanie. Go on, Moobs. Go on, Moobs. Go on that.
One thing I'd say with Ince, we saw earlier in the season, you chucked the shirt at him in the Carabao Cup, but he was our top scorer in the Carabao Cup. That to me, that said it all. That boy deserves way more game time than what he's getting. And with that, I think it was, I said yesterday after the game, it was, you need to put Sissoko back in the centre. You could easily chop and change that team if because I think we're all in agreement. Bayo is going to come back in, because I doubt Dumiba's going to make Wednesday. I very much doubt that. If he does, it'll be a miracle. But the other thing I said to a few people sitting around me yesterday, 1 or 2 of those errors that the goalkeeper made is going to open the door for Mr. Backman to walk straight back into that 11.
No.
I hope not.
I hope it doesn't happen, but you could just see it happening. Clevs has said he'll be back after the internationals, along with Barr and who was the other one? There's someone else. There's, I think, all three.
You hope that Selvik puts out an absolute worldie on Wednesday, because
I think he might have a 2-game audition, and I dread it. So
he's done bloody well. We seem more confident with him in the goal, to be fair.
Yeah, he's caught well. He catches the ball. That's
that's job one.
The biggest thing we could ask for. Catches the ball.
Save shots.
Yeah.
I know. It sounds like I'm being a dickhead to Backman, because he seems like a really, really nice bloke, and he's a good shot stopper, Backman. But I just think Selvik's a better keeper.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Indeed. No, I agree. But I'm just worried that Backman will be looking at it going, I'm coming for you, and I'm going to get that spot back. You could. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Not for me.
But if it happens, don't shoot the messenger, is all I'll say. You clearly see what all us fans see. Mood's question for you. Picking their favourites.
Bozos, I like that.
Yeah, the
I like that.
Yeah. The one thing I will say though with this goalkeeping situation, if we were to say we do try and get rid of Bachmann in the summer, he might need a bit of game time to prove he's fit. So he might have to come back in. But I wouldn't. I'd want it done on merit. It's
He ain't coming in then. He ain't coming back in then.
No, on merit, he's not coming back in.
Fucking hell, mate. I would give him a chance.
But like
Sorry,
I say,
Greg. Go on, mate.
I can't see it. I don't think Selvik had too bad a game yesterday. A couple of his passes went astray, but he's infinitely a better goalkeeper than Daniel Bachmann. Infinitely. So I can't see Bachmann coming back in. I can't.
Yeah, I'd love to see. The only reason I'd hate to see, sorry, but Selvik, like you said, is a massive upgrade. I use your words as a massive upgrade. I mean, the only reason you'd see Bachmann come and just piss off a load of the little Twitter virgins over in the spaces moaning about him. That's the only reason I'd have him back in. But look, in all seriousness, no. Selvik, so like you said, Selvik didn't really put much wrong. I only saw the second half. And I don't know. I should have just fallen back to sleep and watched the first half. But I got up. It's wrong way. I should have waited after my night shift. Said, right, I watched the first half. Right, I feel a bit tired. I'm going back to sleep, sort of thing.
Yeah.
The second half, because he didn't really put a foot wrong, did he? Did he? Wendo?
No. And yeah, Kevin says Selvik rocks. He does, because I've got to be honest. He saved our backsides against Sunderland. Big time saved us.
He's a good keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? Yeah, go on, Moobs. Go on, finish, mate.
I was going to say, just don't. If anything happens, just don't shoot the messenger. All right, that's all I'll say.
Yeah, it's a rebuild. Apparently, going to take years back. Clubs we aren't going up. Yeah, no,
exactly.
There's definitely some point there. But look, Wendover going forward, mate. Do you think it's just a case of just building for next season? Not
yes.
mean to sound negative, but
yes, but there is still an outside chance, and whilst there is still an outside chance, you play your strongest team, and when that chance should have gone, it should have gone. But this division is it's not very good this season, is it? It's a poor division. Then start building for next year. What that build will be, who knows? If things change behind the scenes, it might be a different type of build. It might be a build with some of our star players retained. If it isn't, if we've still got Mr. Potso, I think you can bet on 2 of our 3 star players going. But who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Greg, have this one as well, mate, before we go on to the segment. I'm still not sure Selvik is asked to keep this from Dan. I think he only signed permanent as we couldn't loan any more from Udinese. Can we see him being re-signed by Udinese?
Well, Udinese are well stocked with goalkeepers. So
about 400 of them, haven't they?
They've got plenty of goalkeepers. So, Dan could be right. Could be right.
Yeah.
But I would like to think that he, and the noises he's made, that he's always liked the Championship, and there's a lot of Norwegian players in the Championship, and so forth. I would be happy if Selvik is our goalkeeper for the foreseeable. But who knows what goes on in that wonderful head of Gino Pozzo's? Who knows?
Depends how much pocket money he gives his son and what we can spend on and stuff like that. But I still think a Banquer needs to come on loan next season for the whole season for his development.
Yeah, again, that would, I think, if we're under a Pozzo ownership, I think that'd be highly likely.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Wendo, is there anything you want to finish with, mate, before we go on to the segment?
No, I think I'm good. Come on you on for Wednesday night, and with that, I'll bid you a good night, and moves over. We'll be doing his thing, I guess.
Cheers, Wendover. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
You're the legend. Cheers, mate. Right, ready, moves? Oh yeah,
I am. Yep. yes, people. Hello. We're gonna just. What drugs we smoking tonight? Because I'm on Planet Mars. How did you get to Planet Mars, Stuart? You know, has Elon Musk been tapping you up by any chance?
Is in Uranus?
Yeah. Oh, we do love a good chat on here, don't we? It's always fun on a Sunday. It's even more fun on a Sunday because you're now in your favourite part of the show. Yes, that's right. Welcome to another week. Another week where there's been more drama than, well, and quite frankly, what happened on the pitch yesterday in 90 minutes. So it's been another topsy-turvy weekend in the non-league. If you keep following it, you know exactly where I'm coming from, because I'll tell you what, that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with non-league this week, and I'll finish with the girls because I think it's the best way to do it. Got to say a big well done to the Tudor Army yesterday. They put a smile back on my face after that abysmal second half yesterday. They took the Binfield Classic. Who the hell are they? Binfield Classic. God, I've heard it all now. God, we get some good non-league names, I'll tell you. I mean, Kodak Echoes will be coming back soon. Pidgey, remember that one. Yes, so
Good times, mate.
Yeah, fun times. So yes, it was another action-packed day in the non-league pyramid. Plenty of games going on. One I will touch on in the. Yes, well done, Stuart. That's what we like to hear. Hopefully, you can find a flight, mate. Be good to see you. One I will touch on from the National League. Wealdstone got beat yesterday quite badly against Rochdale. They're now in the bottom four of that division. Could be relegated if they don't sort the season out. Got games in hand. Hopefully, they stay up. It'll be good for them. But down. That's one of the planes. No, that's a prison plane, I heard. Oh, God, it's almost as bad as St Albans. I'll be getting to St Albans in a minute, Melanie. That's bad. That's bad for Hitchin. Bad. But yeah, if you're a Hemel Town fan, God, this is just phenomenal. It's the turnaround of dreams. It's what dreams are made of in non-league. Yesterday, that Hemel made a lovely trip down to Hampton and Richmond in southwest London. Lovely ground. Been there before. Fantastic people. Wonderful area. Certainly worth checking out if you get a chance. They actually, and Hemel came away with another win. Yet another win. I am absolutely buzzing right now because this is just phenomenal. One stage, Hemel were looking over their shoulders, possibly getting dragged into a relegation scrap. Now they're sitting 12th in the table. I don't think Hemel will make the playoffs in the National League South this season. I think that's a bridge too far, but you never know what's going to happen. But they ran out 2-1 winners yesterday. Fantastic result for them, especially going a goal down. So they've done a Millwall. Went a goal down, come back and won. So big well done to them. St Albans, oh man, I cannot believe, I'm dreading if this happens. I think it will. St Albans were in pole position yesterday to get a precious 3 points at home against bottom of the table Weymouth, only to concede in the 90th minute from the penalty spot. So that game finished 1-1, and it leaves St Albans in a lot of trouble. They've still got 1 or 2 games in hand, but it's now starting to look like a big mountain for them to climb to get out of trouble. And I don't want them to go down because we'll lose the rivalry. Especially for at least for one season, it could be longer. So, bit disappointed. I'm not sure what happened with Chesham yesterday. I think they won. I'm going to quickly check. But there is plenty going on this week in non-league. I know we're at home on Wednesday. But yeah, how's it? I'm a little bit behind today because I've been doing God knows what. Where is it? Maybe Chesham didn't play. Oh no! Oh, bad day for Chesham. They didn't know. Oh, they've had a bad day. They got beat 3-0 by top of the table Worthing. That's a bad one for them. But like I say, there is a busy week of football. It doesn't matter if it's non-league, football league, National League, Premier League, Champions League, Europa League, Europa Conference. It's all happening this week. And I tell you what, tomorrow night, if you live in the Hemel area, get down to Vauxhall Road, because it is Hemel versus Hornchurch. Yes, that's right. Tudors already back in action. One of their last midweek games. I know St Albans are in action. I think they might be at home as well. You might want to check their socials to see where they are. I know they've got a midweek game along with Chesham as well. They've got a midweek non-league game. So if you can, and it doesn't clash with going to see Watford Swansea, get on down and watch a non-league game. It's always brilliant. I'm sure Hitchin will have one as well, Melanie. So keep an eye out for that. That's not nice, Pete. That's not nice. They are friendly neighbours. but yeah, as I always say, if you get the chance, go to a non-league game, because it is a brilliant afternoon out. Every time you walk, I know I haven't said it for a little while, but every time you walk through the gates at a non-league ground, you're helping that team stay afloat. And I really do mean that, because if we don't have the non-league, we don't have the grassroots. We can't develop players and get them, playing higher up the leagues. You think where Jamie Vardy came from in the non-league, that's probably one of the biggest success stories ever. So if you get the chance, go down and watch a non-league game. It's a great afternoon out. You don't get all these silly rules of, you can't do this, you can't do that. You can even sit there with a pint in your hand and watch a game. That's an incentive. It's more an incentive for me half the time. But moving swiftly on, gonna talk about the women, because unfortunately they've had a weekend off this weekend. They haven't had a game, so I've been a little bit at a loose end, which meant housework for me. Not great. But next weekend is the big one, and I really do mean this. This is the big one. Next Sunday, I said it last week, and I'm going to say it again. Everyone was coming to me a lot saying, "Why can't the girls play at the Vic? Why can't the girls play at the Vic? If they were playing at the Vic, we'd come." Well, you got your chance, because next Sunday the girls are back in action. They're going to play Plymouth Argyle at Vicarage Road. I'm going to say that again, at Vicarage Road. Okay, so everyone that's asked me what's going on, well, now you've got your opportunity. And the best bit is, for season ticket holders, and you'd be mad to turn this down, it's free. That's right, it's free to get in. All you got to do is go to the website, go to the club's website, click on sign in with your fan ID on the ticket section, purchase a ticket. It won't cost you a penny. It is free. The ticket is free. Now, seriously, let's sell the Sir Elton John stand out, because that's the stand that's open for next Sunday. Please, guys, come get as many of you to come down. It kicks off at 2 p.m. It will be a cracking afternoon out. The girls want to see as many people there as possible. Trust me, I know that. Stuart, indeed, no-brainer. It is an absolute no-brainer. Yes, Woody, well done. I just said that, but well done for letting us know.
I had to put that. Moods, by the way, I found out it's free for season ticket holders. By the way,
Thank you. That's
right,
brilliant.
mate,
Free for season ticket holders as well. That's even better. God, you lot do crack me up on a Sunday. Stuart, I think they might be smoking something. I'll try and find out what. But yeah, honestly, please, guys, come on down. Next Sunday, 2:00. It'll be a cracking afternoon out. Hopefully the weather holds as well, which I think it probably will do. The last thing we want is bloody chucking it down with rain. But please come and support the girls. Come and show your support. If you're lucky enough, you'll probably be able to meet them after the game as well, because they do walk along the touchline and do photos, sign autographs. I know what he's all about there.
Darren's off for smoking something, so
yeah, well, Holy's been drug tested. So yeah, honestly, they will come along. They will meet as many people as can. They'll have a, sign shirts, sign programs, sign what They just love having the fans there, and they are they're a cracking group. So please come and show your support. Because if we can get plenty of fans in, and there's a possibility that there's also going to be another women's game. That's very true. The Verve sang about that in the 90s. Drugs don't work. You know, there is a strong possibility there's going to be another game at the Vic for the girls as well after next Sunday. So if we can get good numbers, it will make the Pozzos think twice. That as well, Halsey. That as well.
You got to be very lucky for that, mate. You got to be really lucky.
Yeah, Arnie Slot might turn up. Honestly, or Granger will say no.
You know, I bet it does, Woody.
But no, honestly, let's, please, especially with this game, and like I say, there is the strong possibility of a second game as well going to the Vic for the girls. Let's pack it out with loads of Watford fans and send a message to the Pozzos saying it's time to bring the girls home. Let's stop playing at other grounds. Let them come home and let them play at the Vic, because it is, it's needed. So please come and show your support next weekend. Come and cheer the girls on, and you may get a selfie with me as well if you fancy one. Who knows?
It's a bit with the drugs. It started me off, that did, mate. It's like, fuck's sake, lads. Right.
That went sliding faster than a drug raid by the Metropolitan Police.
Oh, fuck's sake. Moosey will sign any Man City shirt if you take it along. Very good point. Good shout out there, Halsey. Moves, do you think the club will let them play there every home game? Just say no. No, just say no. That's from Stuart. They can play in my back garden if they like. That's from Kevin.
Just going back to that question, I think who's it that said it about the girls? Will the Pozzos let the girls play there?
Dave, Big Dave.
Big Dave, right. Dave, the only way this can happen, and I really do mean it, the only way this can happen is that we hack out Vicarage Road. We've got to do it, okay? This is the only way it can happen. This is how much Gino is digging his heels in. It's as far as he's concerned, I will say, he basically doesn't want the girls playing there. But if we can show that there is plenty of support for the girls to play at the Vic by packing out the Sir Elton John stand and maybe forcing them to open another part of the stadium, maybe a corner part of the Rookery, then let's do it. Let's send that message and then make him think twice. Because if we don't do it, it's not going to happen. So, like I say, if you're about next Sunday, I know it's the Carabao Cup final. I know there's some big Super Sunday fixtures in the Prem, but ignore all of those. Please come on down and come and support the girls, because, like I just said, they will love it, and I mean it. They will love to see everyone.
Yeah, exactly, mate. I'm gutted because I'm off this week. I was supposed to be off Saturday and Sunday, but I've agreed to work 6-2. Saturday and Sunday, so I can't make it. So I was thinking of I'm trying to get down here for that. But look, if they were playing every week at the Vic or every other week at the Vic, then I'd certainly be going to see much more games, because I know Taylor wants to go. Mr. Chris said I'll be there. Fair play, Chris, when I make.
Fantastic.
Moves, the last time the played at the Vic, attendance was okay. Yeah, it was. It wasn't bad, was it, mate?
No,
the Reading, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Reading on the final day of the season.
That's it.
And it was a shame, because if things hadn't happened last season that had happened, that last game of the season could have been way more important than what it actually was. Just to reiterate, some people might have forgotten, we actually went almost 2 months last season in the slap bang in the middle of the season last year for the girls with no game. That's how bad it was. And then when they finally got back, they were rusty as anything, and the season fell apart, and Klebs had taken over and Damo had gone as well. So, a number of things contributed to that, but it's now our time. It's our time to stand up to them and say, right, this is what's got to happen, and it needs to happen. So please, if you're about, come down. Please come down.
Exactly, mate. Right, okay, yeah. Please do if you can next week. Obviously, log on to the Watford Watford Women's Supporters Group for all the latest news. Obviously, we'll post up as much as we can as well for the latest in ticket news and everything else. Please log on to their site. We've got it up on the favourites. Well, I'll try, if I remember, I'll post up another link. If you all can get over there and follow it, that'll be fantastic. I'll give you miles more than news than any other form can give you for the women's team as well. As we always say, we are Watford, so come on, get everyone down the Vic and chill the girls on. Absolutely, mate. Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. Next week we'll definitely be back with the fans verdict. The last couple of weeks I've had night shifts and different shifts, so we're back for the fans verdict next Saturday, 8 p.m. Yeah, come on. It's back at last. Yeah, I got no shifts. And then Sunday, 8 p.m. as always, Sunday Night Live. So we'll see you then, ladies and gentlemen. But as always, you've been beautiful. We've been TMA. It's good night from the legend.
Yeah, it's good night from that legend as well.
Right, see you later.